This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline. Welcome to Twist the Throttle, the podcast where we crank open the throttle on life's toughest rides. From mental health struggles to life on two wheels. We're here to have real, raw, unscripted conversations that break the stigma and help you navigate the road ahead. So grab your helmet, hit the road with us, and remember, it's still okay to pump the brakes. Together, we're shifting gears on mental health. Here's your hosts, Ambo and the Prez.
Oh, listeners, another week has passed, and today we've got our member of the Rust Nuts called Jiggles, otherwise known as Mark.
My brother-in-arms, my VP, one of the guys that helped me start the club up along with Ambo. Welcome to the show, mate. How are we?
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming along.
Been a long time coming.
Yeah. We start every show off with the same question. What do you ride, mate?
I'm on a 22 Street Bob.
The Street Bob.
And you've customised it a little bit and made it your own.
A little bit of club style action going on.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah.
That's good. If money was no object, what would be your dream bike?
I still think even if money was no object, I'd probably just go maybe a lowrider ST, just a little baby bagger.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I like it. I took one of those for a test ride out of Harley Heaven, and it rips 17.
Yeah, some still
170.
flickable as well. Throw it around.
Unreal.
You're one of the reasons I think I'm a bad rider because the two blokes in the room here on our club runs are just awesome to watch. There's
A little bit further ahead of it.
Yeah, a little bit ahead of the curve, but yeah, good fun to ride with. Good people.
So what actually got you into riding in the first place there, Jiggles?
I think as kids, we always sort of used to ride. I never really had my own bike, but we always used to ride. Like my cousins had bikes. My uncle used to race bikes. Mum always was against getting us a bike, but just always being around them. So it was just the inevitable that I was going to get on one.
Yeah, so you started with dirt, obviously.
Started with dirt, loved that. It was just a good outlet as well.
Yeah.
And then progressed to road.
Did you do any racing on dirt or
No racing. I did some training.
Yeah.
To do some enduros, ended up breaking 5 ribs just before, before a race.
Slows you down a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
You run a side of our club, just the Rust Nuts on the road, but you run the Dirt Nuts, which is mostly the dirt side of things. A couple of guys you've taken under your wing to get them up to speed.
Yeah, a couple of the boys that have decided to get into dirt later on in life.
Yeah.
So it's been good. It's been good though. Like they have fun, and it's good to be able to train up some guys to actually do something that I love and I see that they love as well.
Big part of our club is always giving back, and you're one of the ones that loves.
Yeah, it's a good little group. So it goes beyond the club. There's a bunch of your mates that are actually really good at doing enduros and got proper enduro bikes as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of blokes that trained me up when I first started riding, and they sort of had the vision as well, like, because I thought I was shit and I was holding them back, and it was always that, just keep going, you're going to progress, you're going to get better. And I try to do the same thing with the boys that have started out as well. Like I'll take them, I'm more than happy to do a few easy runs and just put them through their paces.
Yeah, the day I come out with you and I disappointed myself with my bike that kept going flat, made to pull your bike apart to get mine going again.
That was fun, pushing 160 kilos.
Yeah, so the old DR,
Yeah.
once I got my hands covered in mud, I was not interested anymore.
I think we sort of got to a point and I was like,
it's time to go home.
We're going to go back.
But I do try and throw that big DR around.
You throw that thing around like it's a Pee-wee 50.
Yeah. Joys of being large, yeah.
Same thing on the road though, mate.
Yeah,
always in awe. I think every time we ever go for a ride, I'm like, wait till you see this bloke ride this bike.
Yeah. I think you passed me under my arm one time.
You gave me the go.
Yeah.
I took that as fucking get past.
Didn't realise you were in my pocket when I said it. What, do you remember your first ride? First time you ever jumped on a bike?
I don't remember really my first ride. I remember a lot as a kid riding around my uncle's backyard, riding around my grandfather had a empty block of land next door to his house, and we used to always ride around there as well. And then just always being around them. Like his next door neighbour used to work with like the MotoGP as well in Phillip Island, so we'd always be down there, always have been around bikes.
That's cool. So you know how to work on your own bikes as well?
Yeah, I'll try as much as I can. My dirt bike, I don't really work on my Harley so much.
Yeah.
Because the road hurts if I come off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If I do something wrong and
But your dirt bike, you'll do your fork seals and
Everything.
all your
Oh,
bearings
forks,
and
suspension I do give to
handball that to
handball that to one of
Thunder
our
Club.
other members.
Give it to Thunder.
Yeah.
What's your favourite ride or ride destination?
I love riding country back roads.
Yeah.
Going out to a country pub, some twisty roads. Doesn't even have to be twisty roads. Just I like getting out of the city and not seeing people.
Not sitting on the highway.
Yeah.
the fresh air. I agree with that. You know, it's
Any bucket list rides? Anything you want to do? Anywhere in the world?
I don't know about anywhere in the world. I'd love to just do some more around Australia. Go to do a bit of interstate work as well. I'd love to do some interstate riding. I don't mind sitting on a highway for a long time, so it doesn't bother me. I'd just love to ride for a couple of days, even a week.
Yeah.
Just get away.
I think my back just twinged thinking about that.
So what does riding mean to you beyond just getting on the bike?
Riding's helped me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like a lot of ways. Helped me get my life in order. Just being out every week and getting out with the boys. Got me off a lot of drugs that I was doing as well. Like it helped me out heaps. It means more than just getting on a bike. It frees my mind.
Getting on a bike is mindfulness. Yeah, you have to think about being on the bike. It clears your head, whatever. It's a type of meditation. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like as soon as that bike starts up, no matter whether it be dirt or road, my mind clears.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. It's just the ride.
Yeah. You see it as a lifestyle as well?
100%.
Yeah, so you use it, you ride to work every day as well? Well, when it's weather permitting, obviously.
Weather permitting, I'll jump on the bike. It's like a 2-year-old bike. It's done nearly 16,000 Ks.
Yeah,
So
it's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a shed pony.
No, it doesn't sit in the shed, mate. It gets ridden.
Ridden, not hidden.
Has the biker community been a source of support for you, or
100%. As I was saying before, a lot of the guys that I was riding with, it's really like been riding with a lot of guys that have had a lot of mental health issues, and it's helped them, and they've shown me how it can help me as well, and it's helped me heaps.
Yeah. So when I first met you, you had Ronda, you had the CBR 650. That was a freaking rocket of a.
That was an awesome bike. I wanted a Harley, but I'd never wanted to ride a Street 500.
Yeah, that's fair
So I thought I might as well get something else.
You're lucky enough to have a beautiful wife that has bought you all your bikes. So
yes, I haven't had to pay for a single.
I don't know how many times I've asked her. She's not interested. She's not interested.
She doesn't have a sister. I get asked that all the time.
There is a correlation between how many kids you have and how many bikes she's bought you. So
no, well, she's bought me 3 bikes.
Oh, there we go.
And we've only got 2 kids.
There we go. We're on. Do you think the brotherhood among bikers is unique compared to any other groups?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think I've met a real biker like there's people that ride bikes and then there's bikers, like people that love and live and breathe biking. And I don't think I've met a biker that doesn't like it isn't a good influence or they're always good people. You don't really meet many assholes on bikes.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. You think about one of our members, Tin Man. Fuck, he does some miles, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and he is committed to the road. Yeah,
I'll never forget the first time I met Tin Man. I walked into a room for an organization we won't talk about, and he stood up and ran across the room, gave me the biggest hug of like, I'm just like, do I know this guy? But he was like, as soon as you walked in the door, you were his brother.
Dude, he's awesome. He's been around to my place a couple of times just solo.
Yeah.
And he's awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, isn't he? He's
on his way back from some mammoth ride that you didn't know he was even doing.
I remember we went for a dirt ride once when he just bought a dirt bike and he rocked up to the ride and I'm like, I was expecting him to rock up on the bike. He rocked up in a car and I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you had a car.
So life isn't always smooth riding. How has biking helped you through some tough times?
Helped me a lot. I some substance abuse issues.
Yeah.
Got me off that just because it was, got to be focused, especially riding out in the dirt. Like trees don't move. So it helped me out a lot with that, especially, and the people too. Like, so it wasn't just the bikes.
Yeah, substance as in what type of substance?
I was pretty heavily addicted to meth for a long time.
Yeah, it's a scary one. I've tried that once. I've never ever done it ever again because it's very, very scary, that one.
Pretty bad, man. And the circumstances around getting involved in it weren't the best either.
Yeah.
So I just lost my dad and a family member of mine who was meant to be there to protect me.
Yeah.
The one that fucking fed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate him for it, but it also led me to where I am now.
No, you can't change everything in your past. It creates the story, and
100%.
You've lived your story.
So
it is part of you, isn't it?
Yeah, so you and I go back quite a long time.
Long time.
Yeah, I think we worked it out, but nearly 15, 16 years. we lost contact when you were off the rails there. Seeing you come back was one of the greatest moments of my life. I was really happy to have my boy back. Like it was
a tough road back.
Something you should be proud of, man. It's not something we take lightly. Like I've gone through my own sober journey myself. I wasn't into much too heavy, but alcohol's an acceptable. Yeah. And I was a problem drinker. Now been good. I get the support of you guys. Yeah. Like I actually laughed when I posted up. I just hit my 3-year mark. You were the first comment with miss having a beer with you. I was like, only people who know us know that was like, actually a supportive message. Like, moving on. Are there any specific moments there where you remember being pulled out of a dark place by bikes, by anyone in particular? Like, what got you back on the road to recovery?
By bikes in particular, no. I was sort of already coming to a better place by then. Like, it helped, like, because it kept my mind busy. But yeah, not like bikes specifically, as I said, it frees my mind. It puts me into a better headspace. I don't think I've ever been upset or angry on a ride.
If you want your kids to stay off drugs, get them into motorbikes. They can't afford both.
100%.
So we're going to go dig into your childhood a little bit. You moved around a lot when you were a kid. You moved up to Queensland for a little while, came back to Melbourne.
Yeah, born down in Melbourne, and family moved up there. I think I was about 4. Had a good time up there, good childhood as well.
Yeah,
it's a lot different to Melbourne.
Talked about taking your family up there.
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's a lot colder and wetter down this way.
Yeah, but it's just like we lived in sort of like a cul-de-sac sort of area, but like on the water as well. So at least as kids we'd go swimming, take friends' boats out, or you just end up skateboarding, or going for a ride, take your bike for a ride, down to the shops, and also different time as well. It wasn't so dangerous then either.
So that was with mum and dad at the time?
Yeah, mum and dad.
Yeah, so they split when you were about 10?
Yeah, they split. Dad moved back down here. We stayed up in Queensland for a little bit, and then I think mum wanted to be with the family, so we moved back down here.
How do you think that changed your perspective on life?
Makes you grow up pretty quick, and a big change as well, especially coming from the Gold Coast, moving back down to Melbourne. Totally different lifestyle. It's a big change.
You're saying one of the problems of coming back down was you got bullied a fair bit through high school and
stuff. I was the little wog that rode a skateboard.
Yeah.
Smelled of Italian sausage. Which is really good. And so you learn how to fight as a way of coping.
Had to learn how to fight, man. I got picked on heaps. Once I started to show people that I could actually take care of myself, that quickly changed.
You and I have the joke that we both married well.
Yeah.
Women who buy us bikes.
It's about the only thing I haven't had to work for.
Second time round's better, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Get the practice out of the way. Your first relationship, without naming names, you said you fucked up a fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to go into what you learned from that?
What I learned from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably see, I'd fuck around and find out. And I think I found out, but lost a lot. Yeah. Lost heaps. I basically got left with nothing. But yeah, it taught me that, you got to, with the relationship, you got to work. It's got to work both ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were together early, from an early age?
Yeah, got together. I was about maybe 20, 21. We were together for about 7 years, engaged, built a house together, never got to live in it. We broke up a week before we got the keys. So yeah. And
like you said, second relationship was even rougher.
Second relationship was just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up getting involved with a girl that was, heavily using. And
you went down that pathway as well?
Yeah, I was already kind of there. It didn't make things any better, eh?
Yeah, right.
And it was a rough year and a half.
Yeah.
I got lucky that I had some mates that stuck around, even though they didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I think that was the best thing. And then once my eyes were finally opened, I left. But yeah, that was a really rough time, especially with the family as well.
So that she was doing it as well.
Yeah.
It's a fucking expensive drug a habit to try and keep as well.
Yeah.
It causes a lot of problems, and it's still ongoing for a lot of people. If you are having trouble, reach out. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And my current wife now, it's just pretty much at the start of our relationship. And there's a bit of dramas there, and she found out, and I think that was the turning point because I'd already been at rock bottom, and then trying to build back up, and then when there was a thought that I could have gone there again, I think that quickly turned me around.
Yeah.
Had a good friend that helped me out as well.
And she's been your rock since then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, she's been awesome.
And now you got 2 beautiful daughters.
Yeah. The man that never wanted to get married or never wanted to have kids. Married with 2 kids.
It's funny how it changes you though, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Makes you a much better person. You got something to work for, strive for. And, you're doing it really well for yourself now. You got your house out there and, you got a good job. You're a manager now, which is good.
You mentioned you went down a bad path, could have ended up in jail, could have ended it all, done some pretty bad things along the way. That was a shock to me when you sent through that to me. So
that has a lot to do with that first relationship when that failed. Especially being in a terrible headspace.
Yeah.
Got real lucky. Was about to do some things that probably shouldn't have done, and lucky I didn't do. A pretty rough time.
So you go hang out with a few mates on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Whiskey Throttle.
That Whiskey Throttle garage.
Yeah, so that's cool to hang out with all your brothers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they all help each other.
Work on bikes sometimes.
Yeah. Apparently you got somebody good out there that cleans the bikes.
Oh, yeah.
I should
Yeah, got a mate of mine that'll gives her a wash every now and then.
Yeah, no, that's good. I need to find somebody to wash this shovel head I'm building because there's a very lot of shiny stuff on it.
A lot of
Anyway, we'll get to that hurdle. So is there any mental health times when you've actually reached out to anybody? Have you reached out to any helplines?
Not anyone professionally.
Yeah.
Just more so with friends.
Yeah.
And not really family, but more so friends.
Friends are family sometimes.
Yeah. It's just find it easier to talk to a friend that it's like they're not going to judge you as much.
Yeah.
Feel like with the family and that it's a bit hard because especially when they think everything's fine and then you drop something on them, it's like, where did this come from? And then it becomes like a big inquisition instead of someone just listening to you.
Yeah.
My mother's good for knowing, like, I think she knows everything. She does. She's a very smart woman, but she likes to put an input into everything. So I try and steer away from sharing with my mother.
My mum knows a lot. Like we're pretty close.
Yeah. I was saying, I love your mother. Your mother's good.
Yeah, she's easy to talk to. She's as we were younger, like it would have been a lot harder. But I think now that we're older and we've got our own families and out of the house,
you're not her responsibility anymore.
Like she's still like go to the end of the earth, but I think she like just a bit more open and understanding. And I think now that she like knows a bit more about my life and like what's happened in the past and that, she's a little bit more understanding as well.
At the moment, you've got the club and me, Ambo, all the boys, looking up to you and everything else. Is it a fun position to be seen as a leader in a club such as ours, or do you feel responsibility in that way? Or
I don't really feel like that I'm looked up to that much.
You are.
Yeah, I see it, but I don't like. It's not at
the forefront of your.
Yeah, like I do the things I do and the way I go about things. It's not for that reason.
No,
it's just the way I am.
Yeah, it's not for me as well. I know. I don't. Am I looked up to in the club? I don't really know.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
People. Yeah. Even though I'm the loosest unit of
the... I'm probably the biggest fuck up, probably the worst person. But
my position is to make sure everybody's got rego and everybody's got licenses.
Yeah. Great job.
And I'm bloody not far off it most of the time. I'm close.
I'm happy to be that person that like someone can come to but that's just me as a person. The position doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I kind of say you're like king of the kids. Like if there's going to be some fucking
if someone's doing something
wild shit going on, you're probably out the front going like, "Go on." You won't.
But it's not. Yeah, I don't think about it like that way. It's just, as I said, the way I am.
Yeah, well, you're very friendly. You talk to a lot of people.
So having kids, how's that shifted your mindset?
Put me into protector mode, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids have changed me a lot, I think. They've made me a little softer. But then also in the back of my mind, always thinking like, am I doing enough for these kids? What more can I do for these kids?
One of the hardest things about being a father of girls is not wanting to screw them up in a way that
they have daddy issues.
Yeah. That'd be the girls we'd go after.
I would say Nia has, she's very young still, but she's definitely a daddy's girl, I reckon.
Yeah, she's a big time daddy girl.
Danny's only one, so it's hard to tell her.
She's starting to come around.
Yeah. Hanging out in the shed.
Yeah, I had her out there when I was working on the bike. I was just sitting there in a high chair. She was eating lunch.
Yeah, good.
Fired up the air compressor. I'm like, oh shit, better put some earmuffs on her. And all I could find was mine.
Yeah.
But threw them on her. She was happy. She was just wanted to watch what was going on, which is good. I'd love for the girls to, jump in the garage and help me work on bikes. And
oh, they will. Trust me. And they'll be out there riding with you as well.
Yeah, I had Mia on the bike not long ago.
Big smiles.
Yeah, she was happy.
Yeah,
I thought she was getting scared. She gets a bit scared of the noise.
Come for a ride.
Yeah, once we were on there, she was loving it.
So you had your dad, mum and dad split at 10, passed away at 18. You had, how long before your stepdad Dave was on the scene?
Dave was...
How old were you when Dave?
I think I was 14.
So would you credit Dave with any of your
100%
parenting style? Like
100%. Yeah, we started off a little bit rough, me and Dave, but now we're like best mates.
Yeah,
and I think just seeing how different his parenting style was to like mum's, obviously, just a lot more easygoing and a lot more relaxed, and he'd actually ask questions and not just do this, do that.
Have the orders ready.
Yeah, I love him. He's fair dinkum Aussie, isn't he?
Yeah. Old Bendigo boy.
Yeah.
Do you use your mates or your parents as more of a guide for raising your kids now?
I think I more so like parent my kids the way I'd want to be parented. I still like discipline in that, like I hands down to mum, like she's to actually like for a fuck up of a kid, she's turned into like a pretty respectful bloke, and I think that was just due to the way I was brought up. So there's a little bit from mum, and just as I said, like the way I think I'd want to be brought up, and plus it's different times now too. So I think you just have to adapt. You can't just mirror what your parents have done.
I think by the time Mia is high school age, it's going to be a different world again.
100%.
The way how everything's going at the moment, it's going to be a whole different...
Technology is a scary thing.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing, but it's also like we don't want to give her too much screen time. But then again, I also want to get her on it because
she'll be left behind.
She kind of learn.
Yeah, she'll be left behind, and that's the way she's going to be making money in the future.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Kids in school now have laptops.
Yeah,
like I'm older than all you.
I was born in 88, so end of the 80s, start of the 90s. The internet really only came in the early 90s.
Yeah, that's right.
So like getting brought up in a time like when there was nothing, and then like as we were kids, we didn't really have any technology. Never had mobile phones until so we've gone through that whole progression, and when you've got to learn something every time, it's and it's updates so quick.
Yeah, these days it does.
Whereas if the girls can just get straight into it, it's at least they'll be in front and have a bit of a head start.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, Ezzy plays a lot of Roblox, which is like programming and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I hope so. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, but the kids can make so much money off these games now too, like even from gaming.
It's crazy. Like I remember one of Grace's mates when he was about 12 or 13, I was like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he goes, a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, fucking dickhead. It's like,
no fucking money in that.
Go get a trade, like, now all these YouTubers are making millions. I'm probably sorry, kid. Like,
yeah, I know.
He's probably using
that,
tools somewhere, going like, oh, big market out there for online stuff. I know your partner's big on.
Yeah, she's smashing some online work at the moment, which is good. She gets her hand in anything.
Yeah,
one of the brightest people I've ever met.
Yeah, hard worker, just so driven for her age. I remember, I think I told you the other week, we were out doing the landscaping at your place, having a good chat with Em, and then I asked her, how old are you now? And she's like, I'm 27. I'm like, you're younger than my like, go away. Like, you've got 10 streams of income and you're killing life, and I'm still trying. I think it's the same. I have the same conversation every time someone asks me about my bike. Like, it was just even on the way here, I was at the servo, and an old mate's like, oh, nice bike.
Oh, yeah, servos.
Yes, yeah. He pulled it, like, he just stopped next to me. He's like, oh, that bike's awesome. I'm like, oh, thanks, mate. And he's like, oh, how much was it? He goes, oh, no, that would have hurt the back pocket. I'm like, no, not really, mate. The missus bought it for me. He's like, fucking hold on to her. But she's driven, so she's always trying to, better herself, which is good.
I think she sees the world differently.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. She doesn't see problems, she sees opportunities.
Yeah.
That's really good mindset to have.
I think that's
pass that on to your girls, you're going to be
I think that's the difference to being brought up in a different time as well.
Yeah.
Whereas when we always got brought up, work.
Grind.
Don't take too many risks. You've got to do this. It was like the cookie cutter life.
You were raised that way?
Yeah. It was the cookie cutter life, go to work 9 to 5, buy a house, have some kids.
Meet a girl. Get
Yeah.
married. Yeah.
Whereas I think now people are like, they're happier to, take a risk.
Yeah. That's funny. You've said to me privately that you hide your shit better than most people and just kind of chug along.
Yeah.
Do you ever get tired of pretending everything's okay? And
Sometimes
yeah.
I think that's when I break.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been there a couple of times to help you through a few of those little breakdowns, but
yeah, I think I start messaging you at like 2:00 in the morning.
I'm
And
usually awake.
sending reels, and you're like, "Is everything okay?"
Yeah, someone's actually awake when I'm awake. What's going on here?
Get into a conversation about what's going on. But
Yeah.
just try and be, or never really try and show anything.
Yeah.
Which is a bad thing.
It is, and it's better to talk about it. That's what we've been trying to get to through this show, like trying to get everyone to open up about shit they've gone through. We kind of hinted at you've been right to the fucking edge, but haven't wanted to go into it. Yeah, like this is what I'm saying, dig deep in that shit. Like what drove you to that point?
Have you got to that point?
Yeah, no.
Once. It was going through the breakup and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's hard.
And just got to a breaking point. Like it was, I thought my life was done.
Fucking you're gonna lose everything.
Well, I already had lost everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you recover from it?
Yeah. The road out looks a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, so
there is help out there.
Well, that was the thing. You got to a point where it was like, I'm done. Like I was sick of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, it's this is the easy way. And I was lucky because I was alone at the time too. So it was just my own mind that don't.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was hard because I don't think I've ever really told anyone. So
So what turned you around in that moment? So you in your mind said, don't do this. Did you reach out to somebody to get, did you say, I'm having a problem right now?
No, I think after that, I'd probably just turn back to the drugs and just to numb everything, which was, which just made things even worse.
It does make it worse.
It's an escape, I think.
Yeah.
I think what most people who may be listening who haven't been involved in drugs or done drugs is the freedom of no responsibility. Yeah, being able to just switch off and just
forget about
it. Yeah. And it's.
I just always have this thing too, like you haven't done anything for like a week or something, and you start to think normally again, and then you'll get on the gear, and then you'll be like, "Fuck, should I be driving?
Yeah,
should I be doing this?" And then like day 2 or 3, you're like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because you
care factors.
Yeah.
Yeah. All your inhibitions have been squashed. I was like that with alcohol. Yeah. I used to drink until let's get drunk and not feel feelings anymore was my thing. Yeah. It's a hard road to see your way out of, that's for sure.
100%.
I'm glad you found your way back, mate, because the world would be a different place without you.
Suicide, I think it's more of like an easy way out. And I think at that point, I was like, I don't want to be this person and leave.
Yeah.
Like your family finds you. It's a shit way to go out.
It's very selfish. And I know as a mental health program, we shouldn't be saying that sort of view.
It's got to be talked about, though.
But as you say, it's the easy way. It's a lot harder and it's a lot more work to get through that. And
I think a lot of people too, like when you say like it is selfish, it is because a lot of people will reach out to 1 or 2 people just beforehand.
Yeah.
And then those people there have to live with it. Instead of reaching out to those people, to say bye.
Yeah.
Reach out to those people to say,
I'm not doing
help.
good.
I need some help.
I'm at this point.
Yeah. Instead of dragging them down and making them have to live with that for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Let them live with the fact that they saved you.
Yeah. I've had both sides of that happen to me in the last few years, and it's definitely more fun to get that phone call that everything's okay now.
Yeah.
And thanks for getting me through that rather than
if one of my mates called me up and said, I'm done, see you later, I'd much prefer him call me up and say, hey, can you come over?
Yeah.
And let's have a chat and whatever. It doesn't matter if 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you need,
we talk about the 8 minutes.
Yeah,
I was about to drop it, Jeff. I was ready to ask. 8 minutes. Can I have 8 minutes?
I have 8 minutes. I actually messaged a mate of mine the other week about that.
Yeah, I think I was talking to you. I was saying, a couple of months ago, I sat on the phone with a friend of mine for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he just needed to chat.
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes you just need to talk the demons down. Yeah. That's it.
It wouldn't have mattered, if we sat on the phone all day.
If you need,
reach out to a friend. You'd much rather know that, at least you tried, and if your friend will appreciate that phone call asking for help a lot more than that phone call saying goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've we mentioned at the start, you've just got a promotion at work.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot more pressure.
100%.
Yeah. How are you dealing with that? Well,
Yeah. You can be honest. We can edit.
Go home, sit in the car for a bit, or sit on the bike and think, the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Then remember I've got family to keep a roof over their head.
That's right. Yeah. I'm stuck in a job at the moment where if the pay wasn't so good, the boss would be knocked out. Like, it's just.
That's the thing. It's not really it's not a shit place to work. I think just at the moment, just with everything that's going on, it's just fucking really hard. I'll always find a way to battle through. Always have. Talk to you.
Yeah.
And just go home, hug my kids.
Yeah.
And know that at least, it's for something.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy in life too.
Yeah.
Going home to the kids.
Most blokes at some point have sat in their car after work or, not maybe pulled over on the way home or just fucking had a cry or whatever. Just there's a reason I'm doing this. There's a reason I can do this. Just to get it out. Like, I think I've had girls tell me that, they don't understand, why no guy comes straight home from work. And I'm like, we got to unwind. Yeah. Like, if I walked in the door from a really shit day, like,
you don't want to take it.
Yeah, you're going to cop it.
Yeah.
And like,
I think I messaged you 2 weeks ago. It's like, I've just gone to the toilet. I'm just sitting here for a while because if I go back outside, I'm going to fucking punch
I'm probably going to kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some good little, calm each other down chats in that way. Yeah, I think I mentioned it once on another episode. Me and Bear have a very unique thing where I can call him up if I want to absolutely friggin' scream at someone. I'll call Bear and just abuse the shit out of him, and then just hang up. And then, an hour later, I'll call him back, and he'd be like, "You right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks." He's done it to me. It goes both ways. It's just. Yeah, it's a good little coping mechanism. Find someone you can scream at that's not going to cost you your job.
Yeah, but it's the same. It goes back to the same thing. You just bounce off your friends.
So mental health can be tough to talk about sometimes. When did you first feel comfortable opening up about it?
I think really this man right here, Jeff, just really pushed that, it's okay to speak up and have a chat and to help people out as well.
So context, how did you guys meet? Work together?
We worked together. We worked together a couple of 2 or 3 jobs in a row, I think.
Taught Jeff how
you
to
spent a lot of time. Oh, so you were...
He was actually my mentor when I first got out. I was in a really dark place when we met, actually. I just got divorced. Just lost a dream job at Telstra.
So
my life was going.
You guys bounced off one another
Pretty
there.
much. I think that was before your dad had passed away, or not, kind of around at about the same time.
It would have been around the same time. Yeah. Dad passed away when I was 18 years old.
Fucking death is a really hard one to talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, we clicked pretty quickly. There was another couple of mates in there that was around at the time that aren't so much anymore. But it was a good environment to learn in. I was keen to learn. You were a great teacher. I knew straight away, this guy's going to be important.
We just clicked.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Like I said, losing contact was more changing jobs and stuff than anything else. But
I think we bumped in at
I was going to say, I don't remember how we reconnected.
I think we reconnected talking and things like that, but then I think I was filling up fuel on my bike.
Yeah.
Funny fucking servos.
Yeah.
I fucking like servos.
There seems to be a theme coming through our podcast about this.
It was at the BP in Point Court.
Yeah.
And I bumped into Jeff and he's like, fuck. Trisha's going to lose her mind.
That's great. It's funny because I've spoken about before. I am ADHD and my brain doesn't process memories that well. So everyone's like, "Oh, how did you meet this guy?" And I'm like, "They've just kind of always been there. I don't remember. How did you meet him?" No fucking idea. But he's been in my phone for 10 years. That's why I always ask people. Sarge's got stories. He's like, "Oh, do you remember this?" I'm like, "No." It's no.
You don't remember me crying in the car?
Look.
When I just lost my job. And
I just wanted to
three little kids.
I know I would have helped because that was
Jeff. Jeff is a fucking rock. Yeah.
100%.
Do you agree with me, Jiggles? He's a fucking rock. Yeah. I just lost my job. I'm in the fucking car thinking, how the fuck am I going to tell my partner at the time that I've just lost my fucking job again? Yeah. And I'd had my license back, thankfully, because I'd spent 12 months fucking riding my push bike to work every fucking day, rain, hail, or shine. And I was already in a low fucking place already. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeff comes and knocks on the door, and he could see I was visually upset. I was fucking in tears. Yeah. I was in a rough place. And he said, it's going to be okay. You know, and he said, mate, I've got this F-150 getting built. And you're going to be the first person I come and pick up.
It's been 10 years and it's still getting built.
But yeah, no. So Jeff was my rock as well. Yeah.
I think he's got a knack for just being there for people.
My wife made the joke one time, and I don't know if she'll remember it, but I actually took it to heart. She's like, it's like you collect broken toys. Like, you can walk into a room and find the person who's needs somebody to talk to.
And you see it though. You see it before it's even like out in the open.
I think it's kind of, just how my brain works. I've had a few revelations in the last couple of weeks about how I do see the world differently to most people. Like, I don't talk myself up. It's not what this is about. I mean, I literally do have a different view. Like, we've been through a couple of things where people are like, you don't do that. They're taking advantage of you. And I'm like, but it's still going to be a good thing. So I don't care.
And that is a good thing. Like, you always do see the positive in every negative as well.
Lucky I'm editing this, I can cut all this. What's the biggest mental health challenge you face in your life, and how'd you overcome it?
I think losing my dad, that was a big thing, man. I was 18 years old, sort of time in every bloke's life where they need their dad. And that was tough. That was really tough. I think the boys that I was kicking around with at that time, like, I stopped talking to them, stopped seeing people for a few weeks. Took one of the boys to come around to my house and drag me out. And he's like, no, you're coming out tonight. But I think that was the hardest thing.
Yeah, so just relying on your mates as your
pretty much
ticket back,
Yeah, it was like I had some good people around me. Like, it was still a fucked up scene that I was in. There was some people that still saw through the shit as well, which I'm grateful for because they helped me out heaps.
Yeah. A little bit of context. Did Dad die suddenly, or was it
Dad went in for a sore leg and got told that he had a tumor.
Okay.
And we got told that it was going to be terminal. With 9 months we had. And at the time it was a bit more difficult too, because him and I had a big blue and we weren't talking. So it was in that 9 months, it was trying to get grips with, like, I'm going to lose my dad. Yes, I've got to try and build a relationship back with it.
I've got to fix this,
And you got all your life that you're trying to deal with as well.
Exactly. So it was a pretty fucked up time. It sort of fucked me up so much, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was the worst thing. I've always come from a pretty good family. I've always had really good support, but I think that is the hardest thing, and probably the biggest turning point in my life as well. It changed me a lot as a person once I started to come out of that.
Do you have anything you're struggling with at the moment that you're still trying to navigate?
At the moment, life's not too bad. We've got a couple of little girls.
Beautiful little girls.
That keep me busy.
Keep you on your toes for sure.
I think, like, the whole circle of life that's led me to this point has been just a big learning curve to be able to cope with having these kids as well.
Well, one of the reasons the people in this room are in this room is because we are the people that people can go to as well. Like, it's one of the things I talk about all the time. I take on a lot of other people's problems. You guys in this room are the ones that I go to. Yeah, like I reach out to you if I'm down. Like Ambo, I can talk to any time of the day or night. It's a quality that I think is underrated in a lot of people. Like, you can have a lot of friends, you can have a lot of acquaintances, but you don't have a lot of people you can actually rely on in any situation. And
100%.
I'm very lucky to have your voice in that.
Yeah, you need to find your tribe.
Definitely. That's it.
If you don't go looking for it, you're not going to find it. So It's important to speak up about your issues. That's why I try and drum it in every episode, If there's something going wrong, you need to find somebody to talk to,
Yeah, absolutely. It helps heaps. There's no point trying to go through everything alone. I've found that out with the Rust Nuts and the support there as well.
Your favourite question, Ambo?
My favourite question is, so if somebody did come to you in a time of need, who would you point them to first?
If it was someone that was needing some mental health guidance, I think the biggest person I would point him to would be Jeff.
I'd have to agree with that. But if you were to tell them to call up one of the helplines,
maybe like
what's the one that comes to mind first of all?
Maybe a Beyond Blue.
Beyond Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever used one of those services yourself?
I haven't. I was brought up in a time where men just put up and shut up.
Yeah, okay. It's not the message we're trying to get
get
across, unfortunately. So,
if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give them?
I don't know. there's many things, but as I said, like life and everything I've learnt from what I've been through
Has made
me who I am. So I don't know if I would change anything because it would change who I am now, and I'm quite happy at the moment.
we talk about, that moment of what I call it, standing on the cliff, where we've all had those dark thoughts of like, this is pretty much, the world would be better off without me. In that moment, if you now from this room popped up next to that guy, what would be the conversation?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just, there's a line.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There is a way out.
100%.
Are there any tools or practices you use to keep yourself grounded? Obviously, you got the rust nuts to bounce off. You got Jeff to call. You got me to call. Question for you. What did you first think of me when you first met me?
I was like, who is this big,
Yeah.
lovable man? I thought
Big lovable. I never got
when-
that. I never got that impression from
when I-
Jiggles. When I first met you, I thought you fucking hated me.
No, when I first met you, I was like, this dude is huge. He could fuck me up. But he's a gentle,
I'm not
a
that
gentle
person.
giant.
Please let me get that through there.
Gentle giant, especially.
I'm just broad-shouldered and really, really tall. It's hard.
I
How'd you-
as the moment I saw you with my second-born child and the
Okay.
way you held her,
I'm going to give a picture and I'm going to put it on the socials. So I encourage all the listeners to jump on the socials and have a look at this picture of me and my daughter. I'm holding her hand. Yeah, that gives you a little representation of how big I am. Yeah.
and then put the picture up with
I was
you
a lot
and my
skinnier
daughter.
back then.
Put the picture up with yourself and my daughter. in the
Okay, I'll
house.
do that.
And you're seeing exactly how big and gentle you are.
Oh, no. I just love kids because my kids are all grown up now. Yeah. And I don't get cuddles
Those
anymore.
cuddles, yeah.
I miss it.
What's one thing about the biker community you wish more people understood?
They're not bad people. Don't be scared. Whether they're in an SMC or if they're a 1% fucking
Yeah.
MC rider, they're just people that ride bikes.
And if they're not going to talk to you, they'll tell you.
Exactly.
Don't be scared of them.
9 times out of 10, you'll know exactly where you stand.
Yeah, exactly. Within the first few seconds.
Yeah.
One thing about our club is I kind of manage everything internal. You're kind of our external. By our roles, that should be the opposite, but it's the way our club's always worked. And yeah, you are our link to a lot of different clubs and stuff like that. You helped get a lot of the permission across for us to start our club and things like that.
The silver tongue, mate.
There was a question in there, but I forgot where I was going with it.
So I want to get it across. If you ever met me out, in public and you were like feeling pretty low and you needed a hug, you could always come up to me and give me a hug, yeah.
100%.
It doesn't matter who it is. So if you spot this big fucking hairy red dude,
Because he probably needs that hug too.
I was going to say, it sounds like we're slutting Ambo out for hugs, but I'm not sure.
especially if you're hot and you got big boobs,
Somebody hug me. Somebody
just come and hug me.
Twist the Throttle Pimp Services.
Riding along down the highway, are you a music in the headphones, comms guy, just sound of the bike?
Before I get on the bike, the night before, I always make sure my cardo's charged up.
Yeah. What,
Just music,
specific type of music?
anything.
Anything?
Yeah, it changes weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into pretty much all kinds of music. If depending on the mood and how I feel.
Getting you in on the show, what's one thing you want people to take away from this conversation?
One major thing is that, as I said before, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you are doing it tough or you're going through a rough time, reach out to your mates. You'll always find a friend that'll always have you back. I found that through the years, like there'll always be someone that's always got your back.
And if you don't buy a motorbike, as we said.
That's it. If you don't buy a motorbike,
We called our show Twist the Throttle. What does the term twist the throttle mean to you?
bike, man.
Yeah.
Just getting on that bike and twisting that throttle
Yeah.
and feeling free.
Yeah. So it's the freedom,
There is nothing better.
Thanks a lot for coming along, Jiggles.
Thanks for having me,
And
boys.
thank you very much, listeners, for getting along with this podcast. You made it this far in our series.
Yeah.
You should jump on our socials and interact with us.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.